already know who it is. I'm just coming to you with a quick disclaimer here that I am doing a voiceover. Unfortunately, my game card capture did not pick up my voice when I was explaining my tips and tricks and all the good stuff, and the gameplay itself. So I do apologize for that, but this is your disclaimer here so that you know this is a voiceover. So if it sounds funny, that is why. But without further ado, let's get into introductions. Hello, my loves. It is your girl, Tiggy, and we are back with another video. In this video today, I am going to be playing Splatoon with you all. I just did 2 rounds. I was planning to do 1, but each round is 3 minutes, so just kind of keep that in mind. So I decided to do 2 rounds, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks and some different things that I use. When you first load into the game, you will see like the plaza. I'm going to be honest, I forget if like everything is open with everything. But I am just going to be showing you one shop. That is all. Because this is something that for me was the most important, knowing how to move. Because typically when you get more money and things like that in the game, which as you can see I have a lot of money, but I only use a paint roller. So just keep that in mind. So the first thing that I did, and I learned very quickly, was to go into your menu by hitting X. And then if you go all the way over to options, you'll look at the different options. You're going to click the first one, TV and tabletop mode. You're going to scroll down to motion controls, and you can either leave it on or turn it off. I'm really bad with motion games because I get motion sickness and it does affect me. I don't know about y'all, but it does affect me. So I only use a paint roller just because, well, you don't need the motion control for that. And that's why, to be honest with you, I don't do a lot of the different like battles and things because some of them require you to use the paint shooter. We all know that certain words can't be said, so I'm just censoring that. So the first shop I am going to show you, and the only one I'm going to show you at this point, is the weapon shop. You should definitely know how to pick a good weapon. I would definitely suggest maybe purchasing a couple to figure out what you like. If you're okay with the motion, if you just need the roller instead. So when you load into the shop, this is actually what it's going to look like. And as you can see, it has a whole bunch of different like paint shooters down there. However, I don't use that. As you can see, I have a roller in my hand, and this is the only roller that I personally really enjoy. I'm going to show you something that you should definitely pay mind to because each weapon has its own like specials. So you definitely should keep in mind with that because some specials, to trigger them, it's very different with the different like controls and things like that. The one that I have is very basically simplistic in my opinion. So that is why I ended up going with that. But if you click on them, as you can see, it says sub and special. That is what you're going to pay attention to. Some of them will give you like another paint shooter that's really big and can kind of like GPS where the other team is at and aim it at them. Some of them are like paint bombs, and you can throw them. So the one that I particularly have, which I will show you how to look to see what yours has if you forget. Mine is once you have covered enough space, and you'll have like a little like round like bar type of thing at the top right, and once that fills up you get a special. My special is that I jump up, and when I jump down I basically splat a whole bunch of paint everywhere, which all it is honestly, right thumbstick, you press down, that's it. So that's why I like that one. The other special that I have is, if you know what a Roomba looks like, the vacuums that move on their own, that's kind of what they look like. And those are my like explosives, I guess you can say. I basically shoot them out and they zoom across the floor and cover like with paint. But if you go back into your menu, you actually can go to status and info, and as you can see, everything that I have on, it shows it and tells me what the specials are or what they unlock. So some of them will unlock that your paint can refill faster, things of that nature. So as you can see, my splat roller it shoots out those little like Rumba or Roomba looking things. And then the bottom one is that jump up, and then when you come down, you splat the paint everywhere. So some of them will have like one or the other. Some different rollers will have the same thing, but this one is the easiest for me to control. So that's honestly why I use that one instead. So sometimes they'll have different things going on, like it's Halloween coming up, so they have trick versus treat, and it's when you're, you know, just put onto different teams, and you go against each other. I personally don't use any of these, like league battle, rank battle. I've done a couple, don't get me wrong, but like my thing is the regular battles. So the regular battles will put you with whoever, and then you battle each other. You can do a friends battle as well. So if you got like 8 people that want to play and you know them, you can add everybody in a little group, and you all can go at each other, which is super, super fun. I mean, it looks fun. I have personally never done that. I don't know too many people who play this game and actually like enjoy it and play it like often. So I just do regular battles. And that's kind of how I go. It is going to put you on different teams, and this is just like other people want to play too, so they're playing. Also keep in mind that just because someone has a high level doesn't necessarily mean they're the best player. Sometimes that just means that they play frequently, or they have been playing for a long time, so they've accumulated that level. So I am not the greatest, but I very much so enjoy this game. I do typically get a pretty high score just because the game that I play within the game is keep away. So the longer you stay away from the other team and they don't catch you, the more you can actually like paint everything. So that is what I play. I will show you here shortly. There is like a map. So if you see blue, and it's real time, which is pretty dope. So if you see blue in this situation, because sometimes they're different colors, like purple and things like that. So this is me just refilling my paint canister, because if you look on my back, there is a paint canister. That was also me checking the map, and this is a jump up, dumb down, which helps you splat people. But yeah, on the map, it is real time. So if you do look at it, and you see that you've painted, like where I'm at now, someone's chasing me, and you see that you have painted it pink, and then when you check your map, you see it's lighting up blue, that's because someone's behind you. So that is typically why I check the map, just to kind of see where I'm at, and do it that way. I would also suggest, until you get more items or purchase items that unlock this ability, I would not jump to your teammates. You can open up the map, and I believe it's X, and you can jump to wherever your teammate is, but I would highly suggest not doing that unless you have something that blocks this ability. Let me explain. Because whenever you do that, the opponent can see that you have jumped to a certain location. So now everybody's going down who's in that area. So I typically do not jump anywhere, just because of that. So I would definitely suggest, like I said, do not jump to people. I promise you that the other team can see that if you don't have something on that blocks the ability for them to actually be able to see. So don't jump to people, y'all. Just don't do it. I did it quite a few times until I understood that they actually can see that, because I didn't have anything on that, blocks that ability for them to see. So I wouldn't do that. They can also see on the map. So if you're painting pink somewhere, they can open up the map and see where you're at, where you're painting pink. So that is why I try to cover everything the majority of the time within a certain area, just because it's harder for them to see. Because all they're going to see is a whole lot of pink, but they're not going to see, they're not going to see you painting it pink. Even when people are chasing me, I'm still going, y'all. I'm still trying to cover up everything that I can. If you look at the top right of my screen, that is where it shows me basically my power up for my special. So the more I cover, you'll actually see that bar moving, the more the bar is going to move. So I try to get as much as I can. the first round we actually lost. So this shows you the overall. Yeah, they creamed us, y'all. But this shows you the overall you against them. If you win, you get an additional 1,000 like points. If you lose, you get whatever you've gotten. So I got 867, and so that's what's gonna go towards me leveling up. So this is why winning is awesome sometimes. Because you get that extra 1,000, you can level up more. The more you play, the faster you're gonna, of course, level up. So now I'm going into a second round. Keep in mind that the rounds are 3 minutes, like I put in my disclaimer. So I did do 2 rounds. So this is the second round here. And on this one, the Moray Towers is probably my favorite. What they call the ring is turf. It's probably my favorite turf. And I will explain why and show you why, because I do it in the game. So I like this because there's a lot of jumping. You can like fly off of things. So what I do is, or my trick is, I paint everything closest to where we're at, because it's much harder for the other team to get up here. So it can happen, don't get me wrong, but like when you're first starting the game, it's pretty hard. But as you can see, you can jump off. So what I do is I cover as much as I can, I swim through it, and then I jump off. So this is why this is honestly my favorite one. It's a little easier, in my opinion, to kind of like get away from people, but yeah. And these actually help you travel. So if you splat them, it lets you swim through them. So I always tell people when playing this game, just keep moving. Make sure that you're filling your like canister up and everything, but keep on moving. Keep on moving, just because you want to cover as much as you can before the other team. So, and you don't want to get hit, first of all. So I definitely would suggest that. I also would suggest buying gear that allows you to refill your canister sooner, okay? Or faster, I should say. As well as they have certain like shoes or jackets or masks that you can wear that'll help you, so that if you get stuck in the opponent's paint, you're more resistant to it, so you don't automatically go down. A lot of times I use these to travel, to get to one place or another, or to get to somebody. Just because, as you can see, that's another type of special for certain like paint shooters or paint rollers. I don't really like those, but yeah. If you see someone go in this and you hit it soon enough, your paint can actually like knock them out and splat them. So that's why I do that a lot of times as well. But yeah, I try to get, to be honest with you, the opponent is going to try to get to your side, like the soonest. So what I do is, I'm worried about just getting over there before even painting all my stuff, just because, keep them back. They're more worried about getting to your side and painting all that up. But if my other, 3 teammates are taking care of that, and I'm up here, I'm covering a lot more. And when you see those, that's another type of special. Instead of the little Roombas, you can do the like paint throwers, or the kind of like a spray paint bottle is what it looks like, to be honest with you. When you throw them, they just kind of boom, and the paint goes everywhere. Again, I don't really like those. I feel like you have to have pretty decent aim, just because you can dictate where it goes. And my aim's not the greatest, loves. So me throwing my little Roombas out there is a lot better than having to throw the other stuff. But this is the round that we won, y'all. So I got 694 points, and because we won, I got an additional 1,000. So now I have all that to go towards my leveling up. So I hope that this was helpful if you're new to the game, or if you still play and you just kind of wanted, some tips and tricks and to learn more. But as always, my loves, have a good morning, a good evening, and a good afternoon wherever you are in the world. Bye.